Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, EQA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about EverQuest Next. A video I made about a month ago, a little over a month ago. I was very critical. I was very harsh and obviously very agitated about EverQuest Next and the lack of news or any kind of information surrounding the game. There are some people that did not like that video. They thought I was being rather harsh. And you know, I know that video was harsh. I've watched it a couple of times. I've had people come in and challenge my point of view saying, hey, you know, maybe you just need to relax a little bit and just take a step back and wait. Be patient. Gamers are not very good at that. Let's be honest. We want shit. We want it now. And that's just the way gamers are. And especially when you've got a situation where Landmark came out and many of us put money down on that in order to support the development of EverQuest Next. So all of a sudden now you've got that sense of an entitlement, and this is the same thing that's happened with games on Kickstarter like H-Hour. Once you put your money in there, it's no longer, oh well, just wait and see how it turns out, you know, be patient. No, I gave you money, I expect results fucking now. So I think that's something that you know, I know it helps developers, but it's also something that it just leads to a lot of angst within the community. Truth be told, I have not played Landmark in many, many months. I do actually want to go back in there and start dicking around with it a little bit. You might be seeing some footage of that now because I kind of want to get in there and mess around a little bit more. I know they haven't really added much to it, but this video is not about Landmark. This video is about EverQuest Next. And I just wanted to make a quick little section here on people that disagree with me. I don't mind if you guys disagree. That's fine. I encourage people to offer their opinions. I like that. I like to read people's opinions, and I like to kind of step outside of myself and see things from a different point of view. I'm a very reasonable person, unless I'm just completely pissed off, and then I'm very irrational, which is something that I try to get around that, but I'm not perfect. I'm only human. But when people start swearing at me in the comments section, calling me names, that's when your comment's going to get deleted, man. And that happened a lot with my previous video. When people would come in and call me all sorts of names, and then guess what? It's no longer a debate. It's goodbye. Delete your comment, ban, goodbye. And obviously that's something as a YouTube content creator I don't want to do. I don't like banning people. I don't like it when people say, oh, I don't like this video, unsub. And that's a thing that happens a lot. If you don't agree with someone, just even once, I've seen people who have been involved with my channel for a while, and then all of a sudden I'll make one video that they don't necessarily agree with, and then I never hear from them again. So you can only imagine they probably unsubscribed because of one single point. It's like, wow, really? You can't just agree to disagree because of one thing. I don't do like. There's a lot of subscribers or a lot of YouTubers rather that I'm subscribed to that I don't agree with. Worth a Buy, for example. I like Mac on Worth a Buy. I think he's hilarious, but there's a lot of times where I don't agree with that guy's reviews. But I'm getting off topic here. It's just it's so frustrating when people can't just disagree and then leave it at that. They have to take a rash action, like unsubscribing from a channel or swearing and having a mental breakdown. I just don't see why people have to be that way. But I am very passionate about the EverQuest series. My first MMORPG ever was EverQuest Online Adventures back in 2003. I am very much invested in this series. So because of that, I'm going to be one of the most critical and one of the most harsh voices out there in YouTube when it comes to EverQuest Next. I want the very best for this game, and my expectations are understandably very high, especially when you consider what we've seen. It's what Dave Georgeson did in his in the reveal, if you will. I don't even know what to call it. When they first revealed EverQuest Next was fucking glorious. I mean, this guy, I've said this before, he's got like plus 20 charisma. Getting rid of him, I think, was a big mistake because community relations-wise, he was just, the guy had a lot of charisma, man. He sold me on that game. He had me hyped. He had me pumped. And now that he's gone, and now that, you know, Smedley's gone and they've been acquired, it's such a terrible situation. It's like all these bad things just happened at once. And the studio just clammed right up. And I've mentioned this before, I did see a developer say, hey, we regretted telling people about this too early and hyping this too early. Now we're going to get quiet. And that is exactly what they've done. They did exactly what they said they were going to do. This isn't something that just magically happened. They came out and they said they were going to do it. They did it. But it seems to me like that was a mistake. So they made the mistake of overhyping the game too soon. They hyped the shit out of it. Man, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Some of the things that they promised us. I'm going to go through a list of the stuff that they promised. But when they clammed up, they did it at the wrong time. You don't clam up with all this doom and gloom hanging over you. Because everybody's concerned, and then all of a sudden you go quiet. That's just going to continue to build to the point where people are like, yeah, this is just done. This is abandonware or vaporware. This is never going to happen. We've seen all these people fired, and Sony Online Entertainment was acquired by someone who is not very reputable, and they're probably going to be sold off. And you need someone who comes out and speaks against that and says, no. Hey, look at this. Look what we've been doing. And they do have stuff. I know they do, because when we took a look at the reveal, they were showing us some really cool shit. There's got to be something there. There has to be. And that's where the concern comes from. What have they been doing? If there's nothing that they can show us at all, oh my God. What have they been doing all this time? Because we saw Kishar, as they called him, the Kara, or Karen, as you will, the feline race. And we saw Jaina, Jaina. I'm fucking talking about World of Warcraft over here. I can't remember what they call it. I think her name was Jaina. I don't know. She was the wizard, the human wizard. We saw her doing some of her spells and stuff, and we saw some pretty cool stuff running through the zone and tearing shit up. And they showed like a golem tearing everything. It looked like they had a decent amount of stuff there. There's nothing that they can show us, like build a small village or something. Show us something. There has to be something that they can do. But, I'm not a developer. I don't know. I don't know what the hell these guys are thinking right now. All I know is at this point, it seems like a mistake. It seems like a misstep to be quiet at this point. But I've been thinking about it ever since I did the last video, and I think it's good that people kind of forget about this project right now. Because if they come out with it in about a year from now, let's be honest, if they come out with some information and they're like, oh, hey, check this out, and it looks amazing, and we see all this progress, the interest in this game is going to come back. It's going to happen. People will start flocking back to it. And, I didn't think so. I thought maybe people would just walk away and never come back out of frustration. But that's not how people really work. And, given enough time, people forget about it, and then all of a sudden it's in their face again. Now they're going to be interested again. That's just how people are. So hopefully they will have something very interesting soon. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be another year or two or longer before we see anything from this game. And that really sucks, because they kind of let the cat out of the bag. This is something that I'm concerned about. They came out, and I've heard other people talk about this. It's a very intelligent point. They came out and they kind of played their hand. They showed everybody their hand. They're like, this is what we're doing. And it's going to be amazing. And then they pulled away. So now all these other developers are like, that's a really good idea. We should do that too. Like we're seeing from Crowfall, something similar with the destructible keeps and stuff. It reminds me a lot of what they were talking about with EverQuest Next. And it just kind of looks like they're going for that same vibe. You can't show people your hand and then pull away, because then all the shit you were working on is going to be stolen, like the Emergent AI, for example. And this is where I'm going to go through and name off some of the things that I was most interested in. Emergent AI, the stuff that they were working on with story bricks, it looked amazing. AI that actually evolves and changes based on what you do. If, there might be these orcs that they like gold. And if there's a lot of people coming down a certain road, they'll start to show up there because they want that gold. But if they start getting killed off, they're going to retreat. Or better yet, if nobody goes down that road anymore, they start taking a different path. They'll leave. They'll abandon that path. That just sounds awesome to me. That sounds so fucking cool. A world that changes. I think that is something that a lot of people really were just focused on with EverQuest Next. It's not a static world anymore. You go into a zone and all of a sudden you notice like a whole bunch of these fairy type creatures all over the place, and they're starting to take over. but you can go in there and fight back their influence and start spreading like a Nariak type influence. They made a video on this a while back that showed how all of that functions, and it's really interesting. A world that changes completely based on player interaction, building up a key city like Kinos. Could you imagine building and being part of Kinos? You started building it, and you had to go down into a mine shaft somewhere and quarry out some rocks to build it. That is so exciting to me. Like, that's the kind of game you don't ever want to shut off. You don't want to go to work because you don't want to miss the development on that wall you've been building. And oh my god, you got home from work and you found out a bunch of goblins came and raided, and a bunch of people had to rally together and push them back. That is exciting. That is so exciting to me. Are we going to see that still? Is that still going to be a thing? Are there still going to be a better case scenario for Kinos would be gnolls, like a gnoll invasion trying to halt the progress of Kinos because they're encroaching upon the gnoll lands. That sounds amazing to me. Froglocks in Guk trying to push back the troll settlement of Grob. This is something that just, like, when I heard this stuff, my fucking brain exploded. I was so excited. I was like a kid again. I'm like, oh my god, it sounds amazing. This is exactly what I want from an MMORPG. It's become so stale, and it's such a disappointment to me. MMOs have just... I gotta be honest, guys, I'm pretty much done with MMOs at this point, because nothing pulls me in the way EverQuest Online Adventures did. Nothing really captures me, because it all feels like the same shit over and over again. No matter how you change up the combat, it doesn't really matter. But when you talk about the fundamental shit, like the way the world works, the way the AI evolves and changes over time, and that is really exciting stuff. We're not just talking about combat. We're not talking about, non-linear stuff or open world. We're not talking about classless systems or trinities or the lack thereof. We're talking about the world itself being just this amazing and exciting place again. I just, whoa, this just kind of went off there. I'm sorry, I got a little excited just talking about it, but I mean, man, if they could make that happen, it would be the most amazing thing to happen in the MMO genre, if they can pull it off. And a lot of people are saying, they really didn't have the resources to do that. They kind of built this shit up and they couldn't deliver on it, and that's what it looks like is happening, and that's why I'm so upset by that. How long is it going to be before somebody can actually do that? Because those are really good ideas, and I want to see those ideas in an EverQuest game, because I love the lore of EverQuest. I love the world of Norath, Tenaria, whatever you want to call it, whatever age you happen to be in. I love it, and it's a big part of who I am. And I want to see them succeed. I don't want to see them fail. I'm not just a pissed off gamer who's like, fuck those guys. That's not what my last video was about, people. You got to understand. That is not my feeling at all. I am just frustrated because I'm so invested in this, and I'm so upset that it's just gone completely dark and all this bad shit happened just all at once. It just seems like just a shitstorm fell on top of this, and it's really disheartening. And they talked about different weapons having different attributes and unlocking different spells, and the fact that you can go through the world and unlock different classes, and based on your alignment, you can unlock a paladin or maybe even a shadow knight. All of that sounds interesting. That's cool. I like the fact that you can do that, and you can equip different things that allow you to do different stuff, but that's not really what had me pulled in. It's the Emergent AI that really pulled me in. The fact that the world changes, it's never going to be the same. You're not going to see the same static camps that I remember camping in EverQuest Online Adventures for hours at a time. And some people might not like that. Old school gamers might not like that, but we are seeing some other games with an old school a style like Pantheon, for example. So we will be getting games like that, but I want to see the genre innovate. I'm kind of torn between my love for the old school style, but then I want to see something completely new. I'm very conflicted when it comes to MMOs, and I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of MMO gamers are really conflicted on what it is that they exactly want from the genre, because when you first get into MMOs, it's just like the most amazing thing. And then over time it kind of fades, And I feel like a lot of us are chasing that feeling, but we haven't been able to fulfill it because nothing really. You can go back and play Project 99 all you want, but I really don't think it's the same. And when EverQuest Online Adventures comes back, I'm going to love it. But it's really not going to be the same, right? Because it's not the first time. Nothing matches that first time. So I want that innovation. I want that first time experience again. I want something new and fresh and exciting. And all signs are pointing to that just not happening. That's what it looks like. The realist inside of me is saying, no way. This shit is vaporware. It's not going to happen. And I want to be wrong about that. I want my Is EverQuest Next in Development Hell video to be laughed at by people and say, disbeliever, you were wrong. Don't you feel like an asshole now? Yes, but I don't care because I got the game that I wanted. I want to be mistaken about this. Just like with H-Hour. I want to see H-Hour turn around, and I want that game to be what everybody wants, what every SoCommer wants. So when I'm critical of something, it doesn't mean I don't care about it. On the contrary, I do care about it. That's why I'm critical about it, because I want it to be everything that it was built up to be. I want it to succeed. Holy crap, I've been rambling on for over 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Hopefully we get some sort of information on this game. I will be covering it in the future, no matter what happens. Even if it's announced that it's completely being disbanded, I'm going to be talking about that. So if that's something you're interested in and you're new here, you might want to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, I ask that you please leave a like to reflect that. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.